Hey guys, Constance here. Welcome back to A Good Life Farm. So yesterday we finally got rain. This is a glorious sound. We have so desperately needed rain. We haven't really had anything measurable for the last, well, more than a month, I'd say. And you know it's bad when Comfrey, over there at the bottom of that tree, is laying down dead. It'll come back, but it was laying down just lifeless. I can practically hear the ground sighing in gratitude for this rain. It has been so desperately needed. We've watched rainstorms just pass us by to the north, to the south. So this is definitely a welcome sound. So we ended up getting about 1.5 inches of rain yesterday evening. It was wonderful. We need so much rain just because we have gone so long without it, and it's been so incredibly hot. Tomorrow the temperature is actually going to be 100 degrees. Not heat index, actual temperature. I think the heat index is supposed to be something like 112, 115, something like that. It has just been miserable. But I spent most of the day today working. I would take periodic breaks throughout the day just because it was so incredibly hot. But yesterday I finished fencing off the area, the new area, for Sophie and Amos, our minis, and that alley, I guess, that I had created or cleared through the trees is now accessible to them, and they were absolutely loving that today. I think they really like having access to the trees and the shade. And so today I was working on something similar for our bucks. It has been a long day of work and sweat, but I wanted to share something with you. So over the weekend we had company for actually the 3rd of July. We had friends come over for a nice barbecue, and I made a dessert that is something that I've made for my family for ages, and I just wanted to share that recipe with all of you. It is for blueberry cobbler, and there is nothing like a blueberry dessert that is made from blueberries out of your own garden. So to make this recipe, you preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and I picked about 1.5 cups of fresh blueberries. I washed them up, and then I sprinkled 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar onto the blueberries and just kind of set them aside for the time being. And in a skillet, I melted 3/4 cup or 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter. And while that was melting, I combined in my mixing bowl 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, a tablespoon of baking powder, ¾ teaspoon of salt, and then I whisked those together. And then while the butter was finishing melting, I went ahead and I prepared my baking pan. You can spray the pan with baking spray, or you can use my baking spray replacement mixture, which I use for pretty much all of my standard baking, and I have a tutorial on that on my website. I'll put a link to that down below. So then I poured the melted butter into the flour mixture. And I added 1.5 cups of milk. I whisked those all together until they were nice and smooth, and then I poured the batter into my prepared baking pan. And as I was pouring the batter in, it dawned on me this recipe really shouldn't be baked in a metal pan. I love those metal pans because they're so pretty, but this particular recipe will do better in a glass pan, a Pyrex pan, ceramic, pottery, something like that, something other than metal, because you'll see when this is finished, it got a little bit brown around the edges, and it's not going to do that quite so much if you do it in a glass or ceramic pan. So I spread the batter around in the 9x13 baking pan, and then I sprinkled the sugared blueberries all over the top of the batter. And then this went into the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. And then I just took it out and I let it rest on the counter for a few minutes, and then I served it with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. And as you can see, it did get a little bit brown around the edges, and that is why I say it's best to not use a metal pan with this particular recipe. That is my blueberry cobbler recipe. If you would like to get a printable version of this, you can get it on my website, and I will put a link to that down below. So thanks for joining me here at the homestead. My name is Constance at A Good Life Farm, and I'll talk to y'all next time.